Meanwhile, developing tonight, thousands of Texans will soon learn if they are victims of a crime we told you about yesterday. Now, KENS 5 has learned the state sent about 2,400 driver's licenses to a Chinese gang based in New York. Now, in a letter we obtained today, DPS let victims know criminals are using their identities and offered a replacement driver's license at no cost. Now, as Matt Houston explains, this mess might make it harder for everyone to get a new ID since it might have been too easy to get one in the first place.
A Chinese crime ring created nearly 4,000 fraudulent Texas.gov accounts using leaked or stolen personal information purchased on the dark web. DPS head Steve McCraw says this allowed the New York gang members to pose online as real Texans and secure 2,400 replacement driver's licenses. The gang had just enough information to convince the state website they were who they were pretending to be.
We're not happy at all, I can tell you that.
DPS head Steve McCraw says the criminals bought the IDs for $11 each using stolen credit card numbers. The state's website did not ask for a billing zip code or the 3-digit code on the back of the card. It does now. The state has also stopped using certain security questions that could verify a person's identity.
Control should have been in place, and this should have never happened, period.
McCraw says the criminals gave these IDs, which had pictures of real Texans on them, to look-alike Chinese immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. Those lookalikes took the Texas IDs to other states and used them to apply for new licenses with their own pictures on them. Lawmakers were not happy DPS learned about this around Christmas and waited to alert victims their identities were compromised.
So hold on. It could be my driver's license, and somebody could be going around as Mary Gonzalez right now for 2 months, and nobody's been notified.
Now, McCraw told his lawmakers that they could have jeopardized the investigation by alerting victims earlier, and the state has already made some arrests. Now, victims in the case are likely of Asian descent. DPS will call you and mail you with a letter. If you think this has affected you, you can go to iwatchtexas.org to report a fraud security incident. The state will give these victims free priority appointments at the driver's license office to get a new ID.